and this is going to be a Tiger 131 review. So, if you didn't know already, in the store you can go over to specials. This is actually how I acquired this tank. There are war chests, and I happen to get lucky with what I got, but you can get the commanders, the generals, or the heroes. I got it out of the heroes chest because I had like $5 on my Microsoft account. I mean, if you happen to have some laying around, you have nothing else to spend it on, you can get some pretty decent stuff out of this. You pretty much get what you pay for. It's like a chance thing, and I guess I got really lucky with what I got. But all of my friends who have bought one or two or three of these, they end up getting a premium tank out of them. So far, I haven't had anybody buy these and consistently never get anything out of it. I don't know if we all happen to be lucky and that happened to us, but everybody got something worth getting these out of. So I just bought one and I'm getting it, and I had never played Tiger 131 before. I've only seen it in game a few times, and I was like, okay, so what's different about this? Because we have the Citadel, we have the normal Tiger 1, we have the heavy tank number 6, we have a few different versions of the Tiger 1. We have tier 6s and tier 7s. Now this is a tier 7 premium version of Tiger. It's not like the Hammer. The Hammer is like the Tiger 1 and the tech tree because it gets the long 88. This is more similar for the most part to the tier 6 versions of it, where they get the short 88. This gets the short 88, so you don't get that, you don't get the 203 millimeters of pin that you do with the long 88, as to where with this one you only get 169. You get the L56 gun, but you make up for it with your rate of fire and your accuracy. I mean, your aim time is 2.3 seconds, which isn't something that's hard to deal with. Your accuracy is 0.36. It's not terrible, it's not the best, but it is pretty decent for it. The rate of fire is really, really good. And you'll see in the replay that I have that this thing, it didn't have a full 100% train crew. It did not have rammer on it at the time, or vents, or anything else. I ended up getting it, running it straight in a tier 7 game. Now, what also makes up for it not having the big gun is that you have preferential matchmaking. Not every premium tank that comes out anymore has that, even though some tanks need it and don't have it. This is one of the tanks that does have it, and even if it got into a tier 9 game, it could still do stuff, but not as much as, say, the Hammer could, because you're missing out on the long 88. So you got to remember in this tank that you're not going to see tier 9s if you're playing by yourself. Now, you can play in a platoon with other tier 7s, but you will be able to see tier 9s if you're platoon with other tier 7s that don't have preferential matchmaking. And the platoon system in this game has changed, so beforehand you used to be able to play tier 10s with tier 8s, but if whatever the platoon leader's playing, everybody else in the platoon has to play the same tier. Doesn't matter if it's premium or not, or whether it has preferential matchmaking or not. That being said, let's get into the stats of this tank. We're going to go first with how much health does it have. It has the same health as a Tiger 1, 1500. I just had this up, so I shouldn't even backed out. So your engine horsepower is 870. Like I said, short 88. Rate of fire is really good at almost 11 rounds a minute. 10.91. Penetration, we was talking about 169. The APCR is 227. So if you gotta use them, it does have a pretty good premium round. And since you're not going to be seeing tier 9s, or if you do see tier 9s, you might have to load them up. Aim time 2.3, actually 2.6. The damage is lower than the long 88 at 220 and not 240. Traverse speed's 28. And turret armor is 180 on the sides and rear. Turret traverse 20, view range 380, and signal range 620. We're going to go over here now this from front. Now you do know, since it is a Tiger, pretty much everybody knows that it is going to be flat, and your dome is going to be your weak point. And you know, if you're kind of hull down, the only thing you got to really worry about is your turret ring, because it does stick up a little bit. But if you, it is 100 millimeter stick, so is, I mean, your lower plate and your upper plate, and they are flat. So you do need to angle in this tank. Your gun mantlet may soak up some shots. I wouldn't count on it 100%. It does have some back to it, but if somebody hits that with, say, a tier 8, they will be going through, not 100% of the time, but for the most part they will be going through. But max speed 40 kilometers an hour, concealment, really we don't really be worrying about that, because I mean you are a heavy tank, so you can kind of snipe in it, but I mean you do have 1500 hit points, just like the regular Tiger one. The only difference is you just don't have the long 88 and you're a premium tank. So, and it also does look really good as well, with the paint job and the bushes and everything that is on it. It does look very distinctive compared to the other premium tanks that are Tigers and stuff. So we're going to go over to the tracks real quick. Your terrain resistance is 1, 1.3, and 2.8. If you're on very soft terrain, it will go extremely slow. It will, this tank on soft stuff will take forever to rotate. It is miserable, but that is just how it is. Do I recommend getting it overall when it does come out again, or however, if you happen to get it out of the box? Yeah, I recommend getting it. I think that is a cool thing to have. It is a tier 7 Tiger that can't see tier 9s with the short 88. So it is pretty much a historical accurate version of the Tiger 1. 1500 hit points, tier 7. Can't really go wrong. Basically play it like you do with regular Tiger 1. You know, you hold the corner, angle, use your hit points, use your 88, your really good rate of fire, and if you need to, switch over to premium rounds. So we're getting ready to get over into the replay here in a second, and I'll pick up where we left off. Alright, so this is on Parkourvka Night, and it's about 30 seconds of the game. Nothing really happened other than me spawning in, so you didn't really miss anything. So, as you will see, we go on the hillside of the map. I am in a platoon with a T-29, so pretty decent lineup of heavy tanks going over there. Now, could have went worse, and we could have had all the tanks push the hill. However, we didn't, and this was a pretty decent game. So, this is a tier 8 game where this is about the worst matchmaking I could have possibly gotten. And I was platooned up, so it could have been a tier 9 game, and it would have been worse. Now, I would do more than one game for a full review like I normally do. However, I decided that I would make some of these reviews shorter, unless people like the super long ones. This one's only going to be about 15-20 minutes instead of longer than that, or spend a little bit more talking about it in the garage than I normally do. However, that being said, so this game, like I said before in the garage, that this is not, has no equipment on it, and the crew is still not 100%. What I would do for equipment would be rammer, gun leg and drive, and ventilation. That would pretty much bring up everything by a pretty good percentage. The exact would be rammer 10%, vents 5%, and gun lane drive 10% to the aim time. Rammer to the reload, of course. And with this tank, for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, it has to have a like a heavy caliber tank gun rammer. I don't know why, but it does, and it's 500,000. So vents are 600,000. Gun lane drive is also 500,000. I do so believe. So up here we have 245 TPs, a Comet And on the right side, there are tanks that can shoot at us from the field. Only a few times do rounds come up and actually do anything. I get hit one time by, I believe, the Fatherland, who shoots me for like 360. And the 45 TP does get a shot into me. I haven't had a whole lot of time, against these new tanks to know what guns that they normally have. I just know that this guy right here hits me for, give or take, about the same amount that I'm hitting him for. And I knock out one of the 45 TPs, and I'm about half health right now. So with this, just like the Tiger 1, you have more hit points than all the other tier 7 heavy tanks, except for, I believe, the Oni. The Oni has 1550, but I mean, it is a super heavy tank, so it is what it is. Now you can use that 1500 hit points to push people, because towards end game, if you kept most of your hit points, you're more than likely going to have more than they have. So I really wouldn't worry about getting completely demolished at it towards an end game kind of scenario with this. If you kept avoiding getting hit, bouncing shots and stuff, this tank is a hard tank to take down when, say, everybody else is half health, quarter health towards the end. This thing is very deadly because the gun rate of fire isn't crazy and it's pretty accurate. So we keep pushing up higher. He's in a fully upgraded T-29, so I'm not really worried about what happens to him. He's going to be doing just fine. Here in a second, you're going to see one of the new AMX 65s over around the railroad track. There's going to be an artillery sitting near him right there. So he just came up. I have more health than him, which is kind of funny, but I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to pin him with this gun. Our artillery just smacked the hell out of that 45 TP. But I was worried about not being able to pin anywhere on the AMX 65 because I did know that this new heavy tank line for them that just came out does have a they do have armor. Like, to some degree, they have armor. Now this guy shows his upper plate enough for me to hit it, and from where I'm sitting I can go through it. With 169mm penetration, I'm able to just keep hammering this guy, and you saw the reload speed is relatively fast. I'm still shooting right now, so, and the T-29 hits him for like a lot. So Charioteer gets ready to come over here as well. The Comet knows better than to come up there and try to fight us, so I'm not really worried about him. Your gun depression in this tank is just like any other Tiger. It's not the worst, it's not the best, but what you have is barely usable. So you can keep on working ridge lines to the best of your ability. So the 65T is getting ready to die. Charioteer is pushing, and we pretty much stomped through this team fairly quickly. So 257 on the Comet, and getting ready. The Comet's getting ready to hit me, and he's using Hash, so he would have killed me any other time, but he wasn't, and our Charioteer smacks him for 538. And both of our artillery shoot at him. So if I, didn't kill him, somebody else would have. And keep in mind here in a second, what you're gonna see, 119,000. There was an operation going on, so I did get a pretty good amount off of that as well. But this would have been about a $60,000 game if you add in all of the supplies and repairs and stuff like that. And that would have been without a premium account too. So put the premium account boost in there, it would have been more like 70, 80, a little over 70,000, maybe 80,000 after everything was done. 2,600 damage, or almost 2,700, 13 pins, 660 blocked, and 779 assistant, only killing 2 people. This is only a first class, this is not a mastery. This was the double XP bonus of the day as well, which doesn't really affect the silver, but what did was the op that was going on. I did do the most damage in the game, which is not the reason why I picked this. I just picked it because it's a pretty good replay to show. But our team pretty much did double on average than the other person on the other team, give or take. Some of them did, some of them didn't. But our team did more damage overall. Few people didn't have the best games. But you can see right there, 67,770 silver earned. Operations was the reason why I went so high. And then the premium account bonus came on, making it 119,000. Ammunition was only 5,000. And repairs was only about 5,000. So, not dying, losing most of my health, and shooting 21 times. Cost about $5,000. Not that bad. And doing what I did. And also, if you get put up in a higher tier game, you're going to be making more experience. I'm not really sure if silver is like changed at all when that happens, because I know if you're shooting a tier 6 tank or tier 8 tank and a tier 6 tank and you do damage in that kind of game, you will be making more experience. But long story short, would I recommend getting this tank if it came out again? Yes, totally, completely. It is a Tiger, a more historically accurate Tiger than any of the other premium tanks in the game, except the tier 6 ones. But this is the Tiger 1, just with the short 88, not a heavy tank number 6 or a Citadel with less health at tier 6. So you make more due to the fact that it's a tier 7, and you get the benefit of having a really great gun without the pin. But that being said, you have premium matchmaking. So it is a very good tank. I like it a lot. I think that anybody else who owns it would never oppose to somebody else getting it. So if anybody else wants to see a premium tank that they want to see reviewed, or any tech tree tank, let me know. But when you pick premium tanks, please pick the ones that I can acquire, because I tried to get the M4 improved. However, it went out of the store before I could get it. I don't have the Panzer 3K, so I can't do that one. So to the person who wanted me to do those, I will do any of the other ones that I can get, but I could not do those. So I'm sorry about that, but I will make up for it with something else. Hopefully this was a pretty good one too, so share it around to people if you want to. But other than that, I will see you guys